What's good, Chaotic Nation? It's your boy, Chaos here. Today we make our return to the best team series as we head back to Johto and create the best team for Gold, Silver, and Crystal. The best team is a team of 6 Pokemon designed to be the very best at taking on the important challenges of a region and a playthrough, including the Gym Leaders, the Evil Team, and the Elite Four. I would like you guys to know that there were 2 previous best team videos that covered Gold and Silver, and while those teams are good teams, they are not the best team. I will admit that there were a few mistakes with these games and these videos due to trying to make different teams for each game, which ultimately led to neither team being the best that they could be. This video will rectify that issue by making all the best teams for Gen 2 Johto in Gold, Silver, and Crystal, since I am using Pokemon found in every game in this generation. Keep in mind that I did not craft this team to be used in all 3 of these games, but this is the best team for all 3 versions, since every Pokemon on this list is found in every version of the Johto in Generation 2. With that being said, sit back and relax as we enter the world of Pokemon. To start off our team, we must choose a starter Pokemon. Now keep in mind that the starters are sometimes not the best option for the best team. Just look at the best team for Let's Go Pikachu, where I didn't use any of the Kanto starters besides the Pikachu we got at the beginning of the game. But I like to include the starter Pokemon that you get from the Professor at the beginning of the game because it's your partner Pokemon, and they're overall a good beginning point for building this team. I know that many trainers also like to use the starter Pokemon on their team, and I think it's important to include the first available Pokemon on every best team since you don't have any other options to deal with the start of the game except for your starter Pokemon. For Johto, we have the choice between Chikorita, Cyndaquil, and Totodile, which can be received from Professor Elm in New Barktown. In Generation 2, Cyndaquil is the best starter, based on how it can use its high special attack with its move pool. Totodile is a good option, but just isn't as good since it is a physical attacker and its stab, water type, is special until Generation 4. Typhlosion's final moveset should be Flamethrower, Smokescreen, Thunderpunch, and Cut. Flamethrower is learned at level 60, but you can use the fire moves it gets from level up until then. Now if you would rather have more damage output, you can get Fire Punch at the Goldenrod department store when you get to that part of the game. However, you might want to save your money up for some TMs for some of your other Pokemon. And you can teach it to Typhlosion, and it can be useful until you get Flamethrower at level 60. Smokescreen is learned at level 6. Thunderpunch can be purchased from the Goldenrod department store, and Cut is given to you in Elix Forest after retrieving the missing Farfetch. It is important to note that this team is meant to be able to take on the entire main storyline, not be a competitive best team. So, HMs are a necessity on every team unless we have an HM slave, which we do not on this team, or the generation doesn't have HMs. Cut is needed to pass through Elix Forest, so it is necessary, and Typhlosion is the best mon on our team to carry it since it does not really need that 4th and final move slot. Typhlosion helps out with Bugsy, Whitney by using Smokescreen if needed, checks Poliwrath if absolutely needed, Jasmine, but I recommend using another team member first, Price with Caution, Erica, Janine's bug types, Misty, but you better have the power and you better outspeed them, Blue's Pidgeot, Gyarados, and Exeggutor, be careful with the Gyarados, Team Rocket's Zubats and Golbats, Murkrows and Glooms and Vileplumes, Will's Jinx and Exeggutor, Koga's team except for his Muck, Karen's Vileplume and Murkrow, Lance's team with Caution for Gyarados and Aerodactyl, Silver's Zubat line, Totodile line after learning Thunder Punch, Magnemite line and Sneasel, and Red's Kanto starters, but look out for Blastoise. Typhlosion's 100 plus special attack and speed stats allow it to outspeed a lot of the Pokemon in this game, which make it useful in sticky situations and ultimately makes it the best Johto starter for this team. Once you have your starter, your next stop is Dark Cave, so we can find a Zubat. Crobat will eventually fill the role of a flyer on our team. Now I know that some of you do not like friendship evolutions, but this shouldn't be too hard to evolve. By the time you have reached Goldenrod City, Golbat should be high enough level in friendship that you can buy some massages or even buy some medicine in the underground or department store respectfully to boost its friendship just to the point where it will evolve. I would say that Dodrio does a better job than Crobat, but you cannot use Dodrio for half of the game. where it misses several crucial battles that you need a solid flying type for. This team is supposed to help you for the whole game, not just half the game. And that is why Crobat wins out on the spot on this list, and why I do not recommend using Dodrio. However, if you really want to, replace Crobat with Dodrio once you get to Kanto. Crobat should end up with the final moveset of Fly, Steel Wing, Return, and Confuse Ray. Fly is an HM given to you in Cianwood City after beating Chuck, so use Wing Attack until that point. I actually would recommend keeping Wing Attack until you get the TM for Steel Wing in Rock Tunnel in Kanto, since it is useful for one turn flying type move. Confuse Ray is learned at level 19, and Return is given to you on Sunday by showing a lady a Pokemon with high friendship, which, I mean, if you have a Crobat, obviously that works. With this moveset, Crobat helps with Bugsy, Whitney to stop Miltank, Morty if you keep Astonish long enough, Chuck, Erica, Janine's Bugs, Blue's Exeggutor, Team Rocket's Glooms and Vileplumes, Will's Exeggutor, although be careful with both of the Exeggutors because they are Psychic type as well, Koga, Bruno except for his Onix, Karen's Vileplume, and Red's Venusaur. Crobat can offer some great utility with the set that is given, which can allow you to get past some difficult sections if a team member goes down. It also has an insanely high speed stat, which is going to make it outspeed pretty much everything, and it's a good revenge killer for that purpose. The next team member will be a bit of ways off since we can't get this Pokemon until after our second badge. Once we get through the Ilex Forest, we get to Route 34 where we can catch our next team member, Abra. Be careful since Abra can teleport away from you, and I think that's its only move, so it probably will use teleport, so just throw a ball first turn. The thing about this Pokemon is that to fully evolve Abra, you have to trade it. However, I believe it still is the best option for this team slot, regardless if you can get a full Alakazam or not. To make this discussion easier, I will refer to this slot as Alakazam. For its final moveset, give Alakazam Psychic, Thief, Thunder Punch, and Ice Punch. Psychic is learned at level 38, so use other Psychic type level up moves until then. Thief can be found in Mahogany Town and is a great Dark type coverage move for your team. Thunder Punch can be bought at the Goldenrod department store, and Ice Punch also can be bought at the Goldenrod department store. If you choose to use Flash on your team for exploring Dark Cave or something like that, give it to Alakazam. Flash is given to you after beating the Elder in Sprout Tower, and I know that many people do not like to use Flash, but it can be useful to get through the Whirl Islands if you have to find Lugia, Dark Cave, or Rock Tunnel. To make this simple, instead of using Ice Punch, I would recommend using Flash if you want to go that way, but I will be discussing Alakazam's usefulness based on Ice Punch. With this set, Alakazam helps with Morty, Chuck, Claire, Sabrina, Erica's Victory Bell, well, honestly her whole team, but Victory Bell especially, Janine, be careful of her bug Pokemon, Misty Starmie, Brock's Fossils, Blue's team except for Arcanine and Rhydon, Team Rocket barring the Houndour line, Will, Koga except for Fortress, Bruno barring Onix, Karen except for Umbreon and Houndoom, Lance, Silver's team except for Sneasel and Magneton line, and Red's team barring Pikachu and Snorlax. Alakazam has a massive power output and outspeeds most of the other Pokemon in the game, making it a great asset to our team. If you haven't figured it out by now, the speed stat in this game is really awesome because a lot of Pokemon who have a high speed stat also are very powerful, so, you know, that helps out. Kadabra does just as well as Alakazam does, but it does take a bit more tact to use since it does have some lower stats. For our next team member, we are going back to Route 34 to grab a Drowsy. But Chaos, why are we getting another Psychic type? Well, this Drowsy will not be used on our final team, but we are going to take it to the department store and trade it for a Machop. Machoke or Machamp fills out our role for powerful fighting type Pokemon, and again, since this Pokemon is a trait evolution, I'm just going to refer to it as Machamp to make it easier for me to get through this video. For a moveset, Machamp should have Strength, Karate Chop, Mud Slap, Dig, Earth or Earthquake, and Cross Chop. Strength can be found in Olivine City as an HM. Karate Chop is learned at level 13. Now this ground type move is an interesting choice as another team member on this team will need one of these three moves. So I will just say choose one of them for Machamp and choose one of them for the other Pokemon. But regardless, Earthquake is found in Victory Road, Dig is found in the National Park, and Mud Slap is given to you after beating Faulkner. Cross Chop is also learned at level 37. Machamp allows you to deal with Whitney, Jasmine, Price, Surge's Magneton, Misty's Lapras, Brock, Blaine, Blue's Rhydon and Arcanine, Team Rocket's Coughing line, Rattata line and Houndour line, Bruno's Onix, Karen's Umbreon and Houndoom, Silver's Sneasel and Magneton, and Red's Pikachu and Snorlax. Making Machamp really pair well, actually, with Alakazam. So, you know, brains and bronze, dude. Put them together and you got a powerful team. Next up is a rather odd pick. We can get this Pokemon by sprinkling water on it after we beat Whitney, and that Pokemon is, yes, Sawoodo. The final moveset should be Rock Slide, Mud Slap, Dig, or Earthquake, Low Kick, and Curse. Rock Slide is learned at level 28. Again, you have to decide which ground type move you want to give Sawoodo and which one you want to give Machamp. Regardless, again, Earthquake is found in Victory Road, Dig is found in National Park, and Mud Slap is found after beating Faulkner. Low Kick is learned at level 19, and Curse can be obtained at the Celadon City by listening to a guy's story about ghosts. It's fun and interesting, but, you know, that's what it is. With these moves, Sawoodo can help with Jasmine, Price with some caution, Surge, Janine, Brock with some caution, Blaine, Blue's Pidgeot and Arcanine, all of Team Rocket's Pokemon because, wow, this thing just has nice coverage. Will's Zatus and Jinx, Koga, Karen, Lance except for his Gyarados, Silver's team except for Alakazam and Feraligatr, and Red's Pikachu, Snorlax, and Charizard. Now, while this Pokemon may be an odd pick for a lot of people, Sawoodo actually is really good to tank hits and also is an awesome Pokemon to have in the back. Now, we need something to round out this team, and of course, we need a solid water type. The best we can do is go to everyone's friend, the PC Maniac, Bill, and evolve the Eevee he gives us into Vaporeon. The evolutions have a relatively solid stat distribution, which really helps Vaporeon finish this final slot for our team. For moves, Vaporeon knows Waterfall, Surf, Whirlpool, and Aurora Beam. There are 3 Water HMs in Johto, which makes a Water Pokemon essential to get through this playthrough. And since Water is a special type, you need a good special attacker, so it just makes sense to use Vaporeon. The good thing is Vaporeon also doesn't need a lot of its move slots since it doesn't have a great move pool, so it can carry all 3 of these HMs with no problem. Waterfall is found in the Ice Path. Surf is given to you by the Kimono Girls in Ecruteak City, which you want to get ASAP because if you get that freaking thing, you're gonna just plow through a lot of stuff. Like, we don't really have a good option for Morty at this point in the game, so Surf is gonna be very powerful to deal with that. You can also get Whirlpool from Lance in the Team Rocket hideout in Mahogany Town, and Aurora Beam is learned at level 36. Now, you may opt for Blizzard if you wish to, but it does have low accuracy, I believe 70% in these games. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. However, if you are in Pokemon Crystal version, you can use the Move Tutor to teach Vaporeon Ice Beam, which, you know, is actually 100% accurate and a good Ice-type move. Vaporeon uses its moves to help out with Jasmine Steelix, Price's Piloswine, Claire, Erica, but Typhlosion honestly is a better option, or even, you know, Alakazam would be a better option for that fight. Brock, Blaine, Blue's Pidgeot, Rhydon and Arcanine, Team Rocket's Zubat line and Houndour line, Koga's Crobat, Bruno's Onix, Karen's Murkrow and Houndoom, Lance, Silver's Crobat, and Red's Charizard. Vaporeon isn't as useful for the team as some of the other members, but having a solid, bulky water type is important for this game since there are so many water HMs, and honestly, it's just a great way to fill this final slot of the team. Well, that's the best team for Gold, Silver, and Crystal. I hope you guys enjoyed this best team video. Let me know in the comments section which game you want to see me cover next. Make sure you check out the description for links to my Twitch, my Twitter, and my Discord server to stay connected with the channel. If you enjoyed, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to support the channel, and I hope you guys enjoy using this team. Thanks for watching, and until next time, I'm Chaos, signing off. Stay safe, and as always, burn it up.